Good morning and welcome to the Petitti Pro Garden Show. Thank you all so much for getting up early. So go grab your cup of coffee. We have a lot to talk about today. Remember, you can always ask us your questions and we will answer them right here on the air for you. You can give us a call at 330-455-5997 or you can stop out at the store. Better yet, bring us your questions. And you can do that at 5828 Columbus Road. We're right there on the corner of Columbus and Broadway in Nimishillen Township. Or if you are a high-tech person and you want to email me your questions on your pictures, you can do that too at Cindy Petitti, that's CindyPettitti @gmail.com. I do check my emails twice a day, morning and night, and but between that, I don't. So don't email me your question at noon and call me at 1 and say, why haven't you called me back yet? I'm not that tech savvy. I don't read my emails multiple times a day. But I do answer the phone every time it rings. So make sure that you give us a call and we're going to answer all of your questions. But today, not only are we going to answer your questions, we have a guest in studio with us today. So we're real excited to always have a guest. And today we have Kathy from Pondwiser. Good morning and welcome, Kathy.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. So you can all sit back. We are going to learn not only about ponds today, but a bit more about Pondwiser, if some of you aren't familiar with them, and what their company has evolved to be. So grab your coffee and sit back, and we are going to teach you all about what you need to do if you are in a pond crisis. And if you are in a pond crisis, what are you going to do? You're going to call Pondwiser. So Kathy, welcome again. And why don't you give us a little bit of background, like when you started, how you have evolved, and what you started doing and what you're doing now.
Okay. We actually started in 1989, and at that time we were called Ponds Unlimited, and it was strictly water garden installation.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then we evolved up to 2002 when my husband decided that he wanted to do large lake management. And so our business, and he got licensed through the state, which is through the Ohio Department of Agriculture.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, we changed our name to Pondwiser.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then that evolved. We have added some different services besides having the water garden installation and the lake management. Then we do maintenance programs on both, on the lakes and the small ponds. We added a goose control dog back in 2012, so we're very excited about him.
Yes, that sounds like a blessing.
It's wonderful, and it's amazing, and a lot of people don't really understand how it works, but he is specially trained in Virginia. He was trained for 6 months, and so we have been tackling the goose problem little by little here.
Okay, so you know what? I got to stop you right now.
Okay.
You have got to tell our listeners how they rent this dog for a period of time from you? How does this dog thing work? You cannot believe the people I have come to my store and I was like, we don't know what to do. The goose problem is just terrible. There's geese everywhere. What do we do? What do we do? So you've got to share with our listeners about this dog.
Okay, well, we went looking because most of our lake clients have a problem.
Exactly.
Especially, that doesn't even have to be a big body of water, but they have a goose problem.
Yes.
So that's why we went looking, did some research. We found 2 trainers in the United States, one in Virginia, and we went to her, and she specifically trains dogs for either sheep herding or for goose control. Oh. So we chose him after his 6 months of training and brought him back here to Stark County, and he is handled by my husband, so only one person is always giving him commands. Other than basic commands, I don't do anything with him when he's out with the geese.
So is he like a pet, though?
No.
No.
He is strictly a working dog.
He's a working dog, okay.
So he's working just as if you would see someone that maybe had a sight issue or something, and you don't
like a service dog.
Right. He's a service dog. And so, he's not a pet. And we take him out, and he's given commands. He doesn't move unless he's commanded. He doesn't run. We don't give him to somebody. And he's strictly focused on geese. So what he does is chases geese. He doesn't hurt them. He goes towards them in whatever command he's given. So he could go around to the right, around to the left. He could go straight. He could be told to stay down, and he would pretty much creep up on them. It works amazing.
So like scaring them
they leave
enough,
that property.
they leave that property.
Yes.
Now, how many times do you have to go back to a client's house to get this to be a lasting effect to get these geese away?
If it's really bad when we first get there and there is a large amount, it's usually twice a day, 7 days a week, and we usually do that for a minimum of 6 weeks.
Oh, my word.
So we go every morning and every afternoon. We try to vary the time. They're very smart.
Yes.
And they know
when there's going to be a predator
is
going to be in that area. Oh, yeah.
And he's a border collie, and border collies resemble wolves. And a wolf is the only known predator to a goose. So that is one reason that they work so well. They also train well because they don't harm the animals at all. So they get a lot of support from PETA and the Humane Societies for that reason. So the point is to just get them away from the property. So they don't, you want to work it. January, February, March are really critical months because they start finding a mate.
Oh.
And then once they have their mate in the early spring and they start nesting on your property, all of the babies they have now will come back to your property the next year. They will nest, and that's how it keeps multiplying so quickly.
Oh, yes.
Right now, they've all had their babies, so they can't fly. They all lose their pin feather.
Oh.
So if you notice now, you won't see any geese flying, very few. Once in a while, if someone didn't mate, you will see that goose flying. But if they did, they've lost their feather. They can't fly. So he will just aggravate them until they walk away, if they are still there. And then they'll start flying again the end of the summer. It usually runs between about June 15th to August 15th. So
this is amazing.
He's busy. And he's been working this year. We've been really fortunate. He's been working in the middle of Belden Village because a lot of businesses, their customers were getting attacked. They make a terrible mess. So, of course, they have to walk through it.
Yes.
So, yes, he's been with us now since 2012.
What a blessing. Yeah, oh, my goodness gracious. Well, before we leave here this morning, I've got to get some of your business cards because I literally have people come into our store all the time asking about this. And I'm like, you know what? We have good repellents, but none of them has had wonderful success with getting rid of these terrible creatures sometimes. So we will be able to give them your business card and they will be able to call you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, we're so excited. Well, we're going to take a break from Kathy for a minute so that I can answer some of your questions that you had this week and let you know of all the things that's going on. This morning, as soon as Kathy and I are finished here, I will be making a mad dash down to the Canton Farmers Market. I will be your gardening consultant down there today until 11:30. And then I'm going to be packing up and making a mad dash over to Fisher Foods on Fulton and Frank, where I will be doing a class at 12:30 today on organic gardening and talking about issues that some of us are starting to have in our gardens right now. So please come on to one of those places and see me today. And if you have questions, you can bring me those questions to both places, and we'll be able to answer those for you. Well, like I said, some of you had questions this week, and tomatoes seem to be the top hot question this week. A lot of you are getting powdery mildew on your tomato leaves, and it's because we've had this warm, humid weather. And it's just, creeping in, and it's getting worse and worse. So remember what I always tell you about trimming off the bottom leaves of your plant. That aids in good airflow. And that's going to help not only with the powdery mildew, but it's also going to help with blight that you're going to get a little bit later. But for the powdery mildew, there are some great products. The BioSafe Disease Control is a wonderful product, especially if you have a lot of tomatoes, because this product comes in a container that hooks directly on to your garden hose, and you can spray all of those at once. And I would do it in the morning if you can, and that way it dries on the leaf on the plant, and it's going to be active all day long. You will want to spray every time we have a real hard rain, but we haven't had a whole lot of real hard rains in the last few weeks, so you won't have to respray a lot. Or about every 3 weeks you're going to want to spray, and that will really help that. But that has been quite an issue. We've even noticed it at the greenhouse, but a lot of customers has called in with that issue. Even someone on our Facebook page posted a picture of their powdery mildew on their leaf. So if you are dealing with that, remember the BioSafe is a really good product for that. If you only have a couple tomatoes, you can always get a ready-to-use copper fungicide, which works wonderfully as well. But if you have a lot of them, that hose end product is going to work really well and make your life a lot easier. Also, a lot of you might not know, as the season, the vegetable planting season is coming to an end, we are having some great sales. This weekend for Father's Day, we have all of the flats on sale, all the annual flats for $10.99, or you can buy them by the individual trays for $1.59. We also have select 4-inch flowering annuals for $2.99. And also our bedding geraniums and our wave petunias are all on sale this week. And we will have more sales throughout the weekend and the upcoming week for Father's Day and for the end of the season. So you need to stop out and see all of those specials that we have going on. Also, it's in the midst of strawberry season, so we have fresh organically grown strawberries for sale at the garden center at this time, and also organically grown lettuce ready for your salads, ready to go also. We also had a shipment of perennials come in and a shipment of trees and shrubs come in this week. So if you are in need of trees and shrubs and you're a do-it-yourselfer, a lot of greenhouses and garden centers are getting ready to close up at the end of June, but we just had a fresh new stock in. So we have some beautiful trees and shrubs and perennials. So stop over. Today would be a great day, and tomorrow bring Dad over, let him choose what he needs. You can buy it and plant it for him as his Father's Day gift. So nothing better than that. So we want to make sure that you take advantage of all of those things. Well, we are going to get back to Kathy and find a little bit more out about Pond Wiser. So you start in 89 as a installation small pond business, and now you have grown to, you do installations of large ponds, like lakes, and now you're doing even a little bit more into property maintenance. So what type of property maintenance do you do? And tell us a little bit more about that division of your company as well.
Okay, yeah, we can take care of their ponds. We have a maintenance program, so it can be the water garden size or it can be up to lake size. We can treat. We can do lawn treatments. We also are licensed with that with the state. We do lawn mowing, edging, mulching, flower planting, all the landscape bed maintenance, and of course the goose control. And we do offer a variety of home repairs. So we like to say that we customize the property maintenance. So you can kind of choose the package that you need. Right. And what services. So even though
your name is Pond Wiser, you're sort of like Property Maintenance Wiser.
We've kind of... Yes, it kind of just grew that way.
Right. Well, so many times probably when you're on, at a home and you're taking care of this, especially if your husband is a handy guy, the customer says, oh, by the way, could you tell me how to do this? And he's like, oh, I can just take care of that for you. And then that's how things to
We've
progress.
Been very blessed. We've had people that have been with us since back in 1989 and started, and that's just how it's grown because they've learned to trust him and know that he has a wide variety of things that he can do for them. So they just make up their little list and
he goes to the property and you take care of it.
We take care of it.
Wonderful. So I'm going to jump back to this dog a little bit here. Okay. So you said the dog is busy like 7 days a week. So but he only listens to your husband. So does your husband work 7 days a week all year long?
Well, it runs in, like right now he usually checks properties. He has once a day because they've left.
They have left.
They did not, they did not put a nest there. So he just makes sure that there's not any coming around just to keep his scent on the property.
On the property.
Yeah. A lot of times, even after we brush him, we can just put the dog's fur around sometimes
like his
in
dander.
Some of the landscape bed. And that will help keep them out as well. So the busy time, like I said, for Vic is normally the beginning of the year because, as you know, Canadian geese don't leave like they're supposed to.
They do not, right.
January, February, and March, they're still here, and they're looking to get comfortable and where they can
nest.
So that's his busy time. And then those that start building the nest of people who maybe didn't do it prior to that, then we get busy for maybe 6 weeks checking. And yes, he does work 7 days a week.
Yeah, I know that. I know that life.
Yes,
I
you
do know that life. I do. Right. So, but when it slows down, then the dog can take a break. Your husband
Yes.
can take a break. Exactly.
From that part of it.
Right,
Yes,
exactly. From
definitely. Vic is with him every day. So if they're out somewhere, or if he would happen to be going past a property that we have had goose control at before, Vic is with him so he can stop. What we've done for some businesses that have been with us several years, we'd always drive by. And if Vic is with us and we see anything, we just stop.
Right.
And let him run.
Let him run.
And like I said, it's a very controlled run. A lot of people think it's like open the door, the dog takes off running. We can open the door and he'll just come and sit by us and wait on a command. He doesn't take off. He doesn't pay attention to ducks. He doesn't chase other dogs, cats, nothing like that. He is strictly very well trained to focus on geese and understand those commands. And those are definite commands. Those aren't just, hey, get the geese or something, just go run or something like that.
Go get him, go get him.
Yes, it's very controlled. And we don't leave him at someone's property without supervision.
Oh, right, exactly. And so, like, if you go away, he stays at your home and somebody just takes care of him.
He is in our office, and if we would go out of town for a length of time, we take him to a certain pet spa that he goes to.
Right.
But we don't go, as you know, in this business, you don't go away
You
a
don't
lot.
go away a lot, right?
No, you're around.
Yes,
so.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're very used to that. Everyone's like, you're always here. Do you have no life? I'm like, this is my life.
Right.
Exactly. This becomes your life.
Yes.
You know, when you have a small business, it seems like it does definitely.
And you love it and you care about it and you want to offer that customer service.
Exactly,
so
right.
there.
Yeah, and it is a blessing that you can love what you do. So it doesn't really seem like work all the time. When other people think that you're working all the time, you're like, it really doesn't seem like I'm working right now. I guess if I look at it that way, I would be working, but it doesn't really seem like work because when you love what you do, it's really not like work. I know, exactly.
And I can say that because all the guys do the hard physical stuff, so it's a lot easier for me.
Right, that's true. Sometimes that is true, but still, when it's your husband there, it's still like part of your life. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, also, we wanted to let all of you know about some of the other things that we have going on right now. And if you have a group that does a community garden for some type of a nonprofit organization. So just this past week, we were talking with Indian Run Church, and they do a community garden with all the participants of the church take part in all of the work that goes along in that. And then they donate all of their harvest to the community food bank. So if your group is in that type of a situation and you're doing a garden like that, we ask that if you are in need of any vegetable plants to call the garden center right now, because we are heavy on a few things that we are interested in giving to groups like that only. So if you have a garden and you say, I'm going to share with my neighbor, will you give me plants? I'm sorry, that's not exactly how our program works. We want to donate to a church, to a civic group that is growing a large garden to feed a multitude of people. So if your group is like that, you can give us a call at 330-455-5997. You can stop out at the store at 5828 Columbus Road, right there on the corner of Columbus and Broadway. Or you can email me your information about your group and what you're in need of at cindypetitti@gmail.com. All of that information is where you're going to take your questions to as well, the phone, the store, or the email. You can get all of your questions answered that way that you have for your garden as well. Remember, this is Father's Day weekend, so we want to make sure that we get Dad all of the same attention that we gave to Mom a month ago. So Dad might need the beds mulched this weekend. We got a new shipment of mulch in, so if your dad could use some help with that, come on over. We are open today until 4. We're open tomorrow from 11 to 3. And actually, as you all know, on the Sundays of a holiday, we always open a little early. So tomorrow we will open at 10 o'clock for you. So if you need to get that mulch early to help Dad. Maybe right after church, you go to early service and you can swing on over and pick up the mulch, go home. Maybe on the way, take him to brunch and then do his mulching for him. Or maybe he needs a tree or some beautiful roses that we got in this week. So we have all of those things that's going to be great for Dad as well. So remember to stop by and remember how much your dad has done for you so that you can do something for him. Well, Kathy, why don't you give us a little bit more information about Pondweiser? We have a few more minutes before we need to wrap up our show, and you can tell us a little bit about the future of Pondweiser, where you're going, if you're looking to expand in any other ways, or a little bit more about what you're doing.
Okay. Well, as you said, my husband is handy, and so he does a lot of handyman things. But when it comes to ponds, he is probably one of the leaders in the area of locating leaks and fixing problems. So a lot of people have ponds, and now they don't know what to do with them, not just maintenance-wise, but they know that they're losing water or over time rocks shift and things change. So he is excellent in diagnosing those problems and handling that. So he's kind of the remodeler of
the
your backyard
remodeler
pond.
of ponds. Right. So also, like, if you have a pond and your pump quits, can you guys come in and get a new pump for them and get it running again like that?
Yes, we can come diagnose it and see if it needs a new pump. We can get it and put it in.
And install that for them. Okay.
You do see a lot of pumps sold on the internet. We can't compete with those rates, but I will say that we do stand behind and do the installation. And if something happens within that 1-year warranty, we will come back, take the pump back, get you another one, and do the other installation with the new one for no additional charge.
Oh, that is such a blessing to have that assurance, because some pond pumps sometimes go bad, so it's nice to have that reassurance that you're going to have that. And so tell us one more time how we can get a hold of you if we, besides coming to my store, because I am going to have a major stack of their business cards at my store now. But how can folks get a hold of you if they have a pond issue or a lake issue or a goose issue? How can they get a hold of you guys, Kathy?
They can call us at our office at 330-833-FROG, which is 3764.
Oh, repeat that again. That's so cute.
330-833-3764, which spells frog.
Now, did you guys ask for that?
Yes.
That is so cute.
And you can email us. It's dray@pondweiser.com. And we are all over social media if anybody else is out there.
All right.
We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. There is a video of Vic chasing geese and running. Yes. So he's
wonderful.
on there as well. So
what is your Facebook page and what is your Twitter name?
It's all at Pondweiser.
It's all at Pondweiser.
Everything has Pondweiser name.
Okay, so if you are wanting to follow them on Facebook, definitely you should, because I'm sure there's some things with Vic on Facebook too, which is going to be a lot of fun. So go to Facebook search and just search Pondweiser.
Yes, and you will see our frog logo.
And you'll see the frog logo.
You'll see the
so that's going to be great. Also Instagram, and everyone is into Instagram now. I guess I need to brush up on that social media part. I'm not real good with the Instagram thing. And on Twitter. So that way you can find out more about Pondweiser and Vic the dog that is going to control all of those problems that you have with the geese. That's just amazing to me. I am thrilled about this. You cannot believe the people that come into our store with pond issues. They are always having a problem with their pond because of the geese. It's just awful.
You can also go to our website.
Oh, wonderful. And what is that?
There's information about geese. It's pondweiser.com. Everything is very simple.
Nice,
we tried to make it very easy for anyone looking for it. Yes.
Right. That's wonderful.
And it talks all about all the different services that we offer. And there is a whole separate page talking about geese and Vic and what he does. And you can sign up for our newsletter. We do a newsletter 6 times a year.
And via email?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So we also can mail it too. We have some people who doesn't
have an email, and
they just aren't into email that much.
Exactly.
And so they prefer still getting mail. So
Yes.
we do still mail some as well.
All right, wonderful. Well, those are the ways that you are going to be able to take care of your ponds and your lakes with PondWiser. Kathy, one more time, give us your phone number because still people like to use the telephone. So give us your phone number one more time.
It's 330-833-FROG.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for being with us today. And don't forget, as soon as we wrap up here, I'm going to be down at the Canton Farmers Market as your gardening consultant today. So if you have problems and you want to see me, I'm going to be down there. There's also wonderful, wonderful vendors that's going to be down there today. This is the first Canton Farmers Market. We're right there on the corner of 4th and McKinley behind Timken High School. So please come down there. Also, right after the Farmers Market, I will be over at Fisher's on Fulton. I will be doing a talk on organic gardening and issues that we are having in the garden right now. And I will be speaking there at 12:30 today. So I want you to come on over there. There's all kinds of health and wellness information at Fisher's today, and that's going to be a wonderful time. And there's going to be some amazing free giveaways. So make sure that you head over there to Fisher's today between 10 and 2. And there's just an array of wonderful giveaways over there. I know the one at North Canton was so much fun. And so this one is going to be great as well. We want to thank all of you for getting up and being with us this morning and listening. And we want to wish all of our dads Happy Father's Day. Remember, one day you won't have your dad to wish Happy Father's Day to, and you'll wish you did. So give him a big hug tomorrow and let him know you love him. Thank you all so much for listening and have a blessed week.